Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we unlock the strategies behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jake Pigatto, founder of Evolve Fitness, a premium personal training studio and wellness brand that merges functional fitness, holistic health, and personal development. Known for his passionate client-first approach, Jake has grown Evolve into a space where physical and mental transformation go hand in hand. His journey from trainer to business owner has made him a recognized leader in the boutique fitness space. Jake, welcome to Founders Future.
Perfect. Thanks for having me once again.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in. This is one of the very few two-parters that we've done, but you're a very unique individual in the sense that you've purchased two companies. So
Mhm.
take the listeners back to when you started your acquisition journey. I believe Evolve was the first business you purchased, right?
Correct. Yes. I acquired it back in 2022, so I've been the owner now for about 3 years.
Okay, awesome. So take us back to before you purchased it. What was the thought process behind purchasing Evolve specifically?
Absolutely. To be honest, as you know from the last episode, my background is in taxes, working with accounting and doing just financial analysis, essentially understanding profit and loss, balance sheet, all that good stuff. So I was essentially looking for a business, not necessarily in the personal training space, but just a business where the numbers made sense. Starting out my career, I was ready to, as a business owner, was ready to jump in with whatever industry, and I'd be open to learning it from the start. And it just so happened that this was a business that made sense right away. And my whole background with just working out my whole life, exercising, playing sports just fit right in.
That's awesome. So walk us through, I would love to dive into the actual acquisition process. So let's start from the beginning of when Evolve first came on your radar, and then how long did it take between that point and you actually purchasing the business, and then we can dive into the middle and what happened there.
Absolutely. So, funny enough, my wife was out of town for about 4 days and I was bored out of my mind. So, I started looking up businesses to potentially acquire. And so, found Evolve Fitness, contacted the site. It was on Biz Buy Sell. Funny enough, you could just go and find businesses that are listed for sale there. Reached out to the owners because it said they were located in Chicago as well. They got back to me pretty much that same day, if not the day after, and wanted to meet in person. Turns out the gym was only about a mile from where I was located. So I walked over again, probably about 2 days later, got a chance to meet the owners, understand the financials, spoke with my financial advisor, and realized the numbers made sense. And that was probably in about March or April. From there, we had conversations, wrote up an LOI, and by May, I believe, of 2022 is when my LLC was created for it. So, all in
Nice.
all, the process of getting that rolling and started, if you will, took probably about 2, 3 months.
Okay, so it's very quick.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. I was fully closed and good to go by July of that same year. Yeah, within, yeah, probably about 4 or 5 months total.
Powerful. And walk us through the specifics of that transaction. Was there any seller financing involved? Was it just a straight buyout? Is the owner still involved in any way? What does that look like?
Sure. They acquired it because the owners were looking to retire. Essentially, it was a husband and wife couple, and I'm actually the third owner here. So the previous owner, from my understanding, was as well, but I've never met them, just the owners that I was doing business with. He was more on the back end. He was a numbers guy as well. So again, me and him could relate on that level. And then the wife was more client facing. So she was the one reaching out to clients, being the face of the brand. In fact, if you go on our website, she's still pictured there in one of the workouts with one of our trainers. So super great people. I still keep in touch with them. And yeah, so the process all in all was pretty smooth. There was no seller financing involved, just straight up purchased it outright. But that being said, with my other deal, I did use creative financing. So I'm familiar with kind of all the ways that a deal can take place and happen. But this one just so happened where the numbers made sense to just buy it outright.
Awesome. I love that. Let's
Mhm.
dive into what the model looks like because I'm assuming it's not your monthly membership where they rent a facility. It sounds
Mhm.
like you have classes and whatnot. So walk us through the business model specifically of what Evolve Fitness looks like today.
Absolutely. So it's a two-parter here. Our main bread and butter and what I acquired originally is personal training. What we do, we're not like a normal gym where clients come in and out all the time, but in fact, we're very much tailored towards that personal aspect. So every client that comes in is paired with one of our trainers. And we do online stuff as well. And even in that space, they're paired directly with just one trainer. There may be some gyms that clients come to where they're like, hey, every time I came in, I was paired with a new trainer. We couldn't really build on anything because you don't have that relationship before. With our model, it's just strictly one-on-one training. We're open every day of the week. I have no quotas for my trainers. Everyone works the hours that they want to, and I'm the one that brings them clients. They bring in some clients themselves too through their social media postings, just other referrals. But yeah, that being said, most of the clients are through me running advertisements, just putting our brand and name out there. Some social media as well. One of our trainers runs our social media. So anyway, we bring our clients in, they come in, they train with our trainers.
Powerful. What have you found to be the most effective way of bringing in new clients?
Sure. It depends on the business. I've tried a couple things. I think I mentioned in the last episode that I run Yelp ads, but in this business, Google Ads is actually the best source for me, specifically for our in-person location, just because you can set a radius for it. So most clients in Chicago, it's so dense that most people don't want to travel too far. So it's really isolated in our specific spot, but our trainers will occasionally go to client sites as well. So yeah, it just depends, but Google Ads has been the most effective.
Got it. So some people are searching personal trainer near me, for example, some sort of keyword, and then Evolve pops up. And then from there, is it like they get to schedule a call, schedule a meeting? They can reach out to somebody right away. What does that look like?
Sure. So to give you an idea of what the beginning to end process looks like, they submit directly an inquiry on our website. That immediately goes right to my personal email. And so that it's info@evolvefitnesschicago.com. So I'm the only one that manages it. Goes directly to my phone that's linked up. I get a notification right away. I try to call them immediately. So it's me personally giving them a call. The conversation probably takes 5 to 15 minutes. Just depends on the client situation, what they're going through. Everyone's different. Some people just want regular training. Some people have a very long story where they're going through an injury rehab. So there's a lot more details there. So directly from speaking with me, I take down notes. I figure out what trainer is the best suited for them based on their experience, their goals, all that good stuff. And from there, probably within about 48 to 72 hours, they're paired up with a trainer. So I confirm with the trainer. They directly reach out to the client to get them scheduled. They are their number one resource for all things training. And I'm here on the back end to handle their package, handle any questions they have, just make sure their experience is the best that it can be.
Yeah, powerful. So it sounds like you're handling the marketing and sales, essentially bringing in the clients. And then did you adopt, I don't know if that's the right word, the trainers? Like they already came when you purchased the business, or did you have to recruit more trainers?
No, actually, that was a big process in the
Mhm.
acquisition was making sure that the trainers were going to stay on. You can't force them to by any means. Of course, that's not where I'm going with it, but I want to make sure that the trainers didn't experience too much of a shift from the previous owner because they obviously like the model. They like the experience that Evolve has and brought to clients. So I wanted to keep it as steady as I could. So that being said, I think I've lost one trainer since I joined, but my very first meeting with him, he actually left to go start his own gym and he let me know right away. He was like, "Hey, I'm super excited to have you here, but I'm going to go look to start my own gym at some point in the future." So just about 6 months ago, he did that. So it's exciting for him as well. But that being said, I believe I brought on 5 new trainers since then too.
Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. So what does that recruiting process look like to bring in five or
Mhm.
more trainers? Walk us through that.
Sure. Funny enough, I've never actually posted a listing on any job site. All of the trainers that we have reached out directly to me or submit an
Wow.
inquiry on our website. I consider myself motivated and someone who is willing to do whatever it takes to get a deal done. So I appreciate that these trainers have reached out to me, put themselves out there, have proactively reached out looking for either a position or an opportunity. That being said, not only do we have personal trainers, but I hired on a corporate wellness coach as well, who has come on and really helped us build out our corporate or small business program to work with an online space. And not only do we do personal training, also health and wellness coaching too.
Interesting. Okay, so let's dive into the corporate wellness program a little bit because it sounds
Okay.
like that wasn't something that Evolve offered before you purchased it. It sounds
Mhm.
like that's a new initiative.
It is absolutely. With our space being an actual physical location. And like I said, how dense Chicago is, it's very difficult to reach out to people that are on the south side of Chicago to come into your facility. So we were trying to think of as many ways as we could to actually branch out and grow this business. I wasn't really exploring it until I met with our corporate coach. His name is Ty Whitley. He actually had his own company before and realized that we'd be stronger together and pairing up and him heading up our corporate division because he already has that coaching experience that I was lacking. So that being said, we're the trainer's resources, and he's really heading up being the one-on-one coach for that corporate program. So basically, we have three tiers there. We do online fitness and nutrition. So in that instance, it's not just basically a basic program. We actually have a trainer who's dedicated specifically to our online space, who runs it, connects with all these clients. When I say clients, in that case, employees of a company. So he's directly reaching out to them. Our second tier is group classes, whether it's online or in person. If a company is in Chicago, then we'll occasionally go to them and hold group classes for them. Sometimes they have a fitness facility on site. Other times it's just online and everyone's online, like at their houses. So we can run an online virtual course that way. And then our top tier is just basically our bread and butter personal training. So obviously different costs associated, but any level that a corporate program is willing to do, we're happy to accommodate. In addition to all three of those tiers, our corporate coach, Ty, he will be a one-on-one coach for every single employee as well. So when we
Wow.
ramp up and onboard these companies, he's actively reaching out to every single employee, getting to know their baseline, where they're going with it. Because falling back to our roots, we're a personal training brand, and I want to set us apart and be different. We're not just handing them out a program and saying, hey, go do this. We're hands-on, making sure employees are taking advantage of this program and making sure that they, not only in terms of their fitness level, but all parts of their life, financially, mentally, emotionally, are handling their business the way they need to as well. So it helps to keep them accountable that way too.
Yeah, that's powerful. I really like that. I really like that. What kind of companies are typically doing this? Are there specific industries that you're finding, or is it fairly industry agnostic?
Sure. When you say that, you mean like companies that are already enrolled
Finding.
in this program? Sure.
Yeah.
It's pretty much any industry. We have some real estate clients, some insurance clients, some financial clients, just different industries. It's at this point, because we're building it out, it's who you have connections with. We haven't done too much advertising for it at this point, so that's the next step in our process. But so far, it's just been connections that we've had and reaching out to the actual business.
Nice. Let's dive into the advertising piece of what does that future initiatives look like? And I'm curious if you're solely going to focus on companies in Chicago to start, or are you planning on branching out nationwide?
Sure. So there's a couple of steps in this process. Currently, it is just in Chicago to start. Not to say we wouldn't expand. It's just it's easy to build our baseline first, get some
Yeah,
referrals, get some companies that already experience what we're offering, and then we can use them to expand from there. So mostly just in Chicago to start. But yeah, that's where we're at for our advertising. We've done a couple of things. Ty, like I mentioned before, he's physically going to companies and speaking with them. I'm sending out cold emails. If someone responds, he's literally there the next day talking to the people in charge and working with them to see what we can actually put in place to help build our corporate program.
that's powerful. Let's dive into the cold email because I'm a big fan of cold outreach. I'm also a big fan of paid media. How, when you're looking for the data of where to send the emails, what kind of platforms are you using? What kind of filters do you set? Walk me through that.
Sure. So actually, my brother graduated from ISU with a marketing and advertising degree. So I've largely utilized his services to help us build out our cold email platform. I believe he uses Apollo IO, it's called. I'm not super versed or familiar. He's built it out for us. And then I jump in and I'm the one who, like I said, is more client facing and communicating with the people that do respond there.
Okay, okay, fair enough. So you like to delegate.
Yes, but I like speaking with people that are interested because at that point I understand that I'm sending out cold emails, but if someone responds, they're actively looking for a solution for their employees to utilize their services to improve not only their employees' lives, but ultimately their bottom line as well. So we want to make sure we're advancing every part of their journey and their employees' lives.
100%. I think that's a great point is if your employees are healthier, they feel better, they're in better moods, they will do better work. They will be more productive.
Absolutely. And it's an additional service that when you're trying to hire on new employees as well,
Mhm.
you can promote it too. And not only are we building this as it currently stands based on what I've explained, but we're also looking to team up with outside companies too, working on a couple of, let's say, referral bases where I'm working with a mental therapist company who is a similar vein of Evolve, if you will, where they have a team of therapists on their side. So not only would we be looking for improving their lives, health and wellness, but also if there's other stuff we can be a resource for and refer them out to as well.
Yeah, that's smart. And this is a huge culture builder as
Mhm.
well. Like I
Mhm.
remember the very first company that I worked at when I graduated from university, they had somebody come in and they would lead morning workouts over Zoom. And
Mhm.
everybody would get on Zoom and we would do whatever we had to do that day. And it was super short. It was
Sure.
like 20, 30 minutes.
Sure.
But it improved the culture dramatically. We all liked
Yep.
each other. We bonded. Sorry to cut. Yeah, go for it.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree. And that's where this started as well. We want to be that change in a company. And like I said, both having personal trainers on our side that can lead a workout and be that personal trainer for that employee. We also have that corporate wellness coach who is understanding what that client is going through in their personal life too. It's like you said, a huge culture builder. It allows companies to take advantage of our services in any possible way. Anything you can think of in health and wellness, we can accommodate.
I love that. Let's zoom out for a second because you've got two businesses. You've got Evolve and then you've got
Yep.
Integrated Financial Solutions. When you think of the next couple of years, what does success personally and professionally look like for you?
Success to me looks like freedom. I love having the freedom to set my own schedule. And that being said, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm hands off. I enjoy working and putting in the effort that it takes to get things done. I just like to be able to set my own schedule, take care of the responsibilities that I have, and be on my own time. I, in fact, probably most of the times that I'm at Evolve, it's going there when there's no one there. So probably about 3, 4 in the morning. I'll check in, get stuff cleaned up, all set. And I live about an hour from the city. So I like to handle my business before anyone's there, make sure the gym looks nice. So just it is a requirement for me to go to the gym and actually make that cleaning a priority. But that being said, I have the freedom to do that because I'm setting my own schedule. So it's something I enjoy doing. And hopefully, with the success of the two businesses, can continue doing so.
That's powerful. Let's go into a quick closing lightning round, and I kind of want to tailor it towards acquisitions.
Okay.
What are a few tools that you recommend for somebody maybe they're looking at purchasing a business, maybe a book or a program. What do you recommend for them to when they want to step into that world?
Sure, sure. I don't know if I have too many like resources like that, but my recommendation would be go and look for businesses. Biz
Yep.
by Sell is a website that has tons of businesses. It can be anywhere from a couple $1,000s to millions of dollars. There's a huge wide range. Go through just what the process looks like of getting started. You can submit an inquiry, get the financials of a business. Even if you don't know how to analyze them, I'd recommend reaching out to someone who does. Luckily, have that background of doing taxes and accounting, so I understand how to do that. But odds are everyone has an accountant in their life or someone that they know of that has that connection. So reach out to them. I'm sure they'd be happy to help run through some numbers with you and really take that first step of understanding what you're looking for in terms of acquiring a business, what numbers you need to look out for, what may make sense, what doesn't.
Got it. Obviously, you have that bookkeeping and accounting background. I'm sure it was a little bit easier when it comes to looking at the financials.
Mhm.
Do you have any advice for people? Should they just go to a CPA, have them handle that when it
Mhm.
comes to actually figuring out, should I buy this business? Is this viable? Is this not?
Sure. I would say rather if they have a connection that's a CPA, like a family, a friend, then by all means, absolutely, that makes sense. Otherwise, who can really dive into it for you? It's hard because they cost a lot of money, but an attorney or a lawyer, they're the ones that'll actually help you go through the due diligence process of understanding what you should look out for. They're a great fallback option to help you understand the documents. But that being said, they are a little costly. So, highly recommend if you have a family or a friend first, even go on LinkedIn and find someone that's an accountant, maybe a younger person who's just starting their career, just because they'd be happy to be a resource for you, as well as give you that baseline of what you're looking for. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Cool. Are you planning on making any more acquisitions anytime soon?
Absolutely. Just don't know when. So, I don't know what my next step is. Either buying another business or investing in real estate is likely one of my next two steps. Just not sure where that falls currently. I'm always looking for new deals. So on Biz Buy Sell as well, highly recommend that site. But yeah, from here, not really sure, what my timeline is.
Fair enough. What are the top priorities over the next, let's say, 12 months? Is it growing the two businesses, finding another acquisition?
Absolutely. Right now, it's growing the two businesses. Where I'm at with the tax business, I have about 10 contractors at the moment from both my sales team as well as my back end tax team. And so I really want to build out that company where we have about 20 to 25 people. I think that's a really healthy size where you still maintain that culture, even though we're remote as well. And for Evolve, our corporate wellness program is our huge focus right now. I'd really like to build that out, get to a point where we have a very smooth process going with a handful of clients that we can refer to. And then the sky's the limit for that because outside of Chicago, we'll just branch out to other major cities too.
Awesome. Awesome. That's exciting, man. What is
Mhm.
the best way for people to reach out to you?
Sure, just my personal phone. It's on both sites. So for Evolve, it's evolvefitnesschicago.com. If you go on, you'll see my phone number listed. There's also a space where you can submit an inquiry as well. Whether it's online or in person, happy to tailor it to wherever you may be.
Awesome. Jake, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you as well. I appreciate it.
Anytime. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.